Your two favorite wild rascals are back here once again. And we've got a DC movie tonight. We just heard some DC news this past week about a film getting canceled. They're not really known for some good films, but luckily they have an animated picture come out this summer that me and Uncle Logan here have just watched this past week. That's right, we're talking about DC League of Super Pets.
And we're not talking about those old wild superheroes. We're talking about those wild super dogs and animals galore in this film. And this is a great introduction for kids into the DC universe if you want to introduce your kids to the DC universe. But it really, brings in a lot of, characters, familiar faces in this film. And a great introduction to young kids, superheroes. Really cute movie. And, I had a great time with this. But basically, the setup we have a baby Superman and then his dog Krypto, and obviously we know escaping from Krypton and ended up, where he ended up. It really sets up the film in a dog's or animal's perspective, which I thought was a refreshing take on the really tiring DC universe.
Yeah, the DC universe has really been falling apart before our eyes. It seems like every movie comes out, something happens bad in the press, whether it's, the latest Flash movie drama with Ezra Miller, or this past week with Batgirl, a movie that they had shot completely. It was still being edited and put together, but they just decided to scrap it all together. We're not even going to get to see any version of it, and it was it's like $100 million to make. So there's some changes going on over at Warner Brothers, and they're trying to get DC back where it should be. Not everything has to be serious, and not everything has to be this world building thing like Marvel's set up. Marvel has managed to make a huge universe work, and DC, I think they just were trying to ride the coattails there and do things a little too fast without getting their base core movies right before trying to launch all these little independent films. But here we have an animated film and a chance to like go back to the start with these characters that are already established. We already know, and like you mentioned, give us a fresh take on it and a fun take, and something that is easy to take your kids with. I took my 5-year-old son, and we both had a good time, like you mentioned. But right away, you'll notice some big voices, some big actors that did the voice work in this. Krypto, Superman's dog, there on your right shoulder, is voiced by none other than Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson, with Superman being John Krasinski. We've seen him as a cameo recently in Multiverse of Madness, and here he is playing Superman in this, which is pretty cool. And you have The Rock, who's going to be in Black Adam soon. And with The Rock, you have to have somebody that can go toe to toe with him, being an animal too. And Kevin Hart, who they both have some chemistry working together from the Jumanji movies, and that kind of sets up the movie. These two dogs having to work together, with the backdrop of the superheroes.
We're introduced to a lot of familiar faces and voices, obviously. Where you have Ace, voiced by Kevin Hart. He was kind of the comedic relief, as you can imagine. Always the bickering relationship between him and The Rock. Krypto's character back and forth throughout the film, which is really cool. I guess he's Kevin Hart's more like the pit bull, and the other guys like the lab sort of dogs. But that's not the only animal they introduce in this. Kate McKinnon voices Lulu, which is the guinea pig for Lex Luthor, and trying to basically work on gaining superpowers and things like that. Kate McKinnon's character doesn't have any hair after what goes on with her. It's pretty funny. And setting up a bad guy, or the villain of the film, so to speak, and really introduces a lot of other characters like pigs and a little squirrel and just a bunch of animals. And this is a great movie for kids, to fall in love with, the voice actors and actresses and what they're trying to do with this film, with a fresh take on the superhero genre. And as you can imagine, introducing a lot of familiar faces in the Justice League.
Yeah, a fun take, not a serious tone like we've seen with all the movies and the live action movies. With the animals in the backdrop of, actually not in the backdrop, with the superheroes being in the backdrop of these pets, it allows us, to take some of the seriousness away and add humor with, The Rock and Kevin Hart going toe to toe with one another, trying to outdo each other the whole movie. Who's the best dog? You got the tough Kevin Hart hound dog, and then you got the lab, and that kind of sets up the dynamic too between Superman and Batman in the film, with Batman being voiced by none other than Keanu Reeves And I really liked his voice work in this. I like how he wasn't taking himself too seriously too. He had that funny joke about, I want to be alone. I prefer to be alone. So I really enjoyed the mythology here. They showed us, obviously Superman's family and what we've seen before. But you get fresh takes on these characters. We see a female version of the Green Lantern. And then, we see Aquaman. I think that's played by Jermaine from Flight of the Conchords. And so we see some big names come along to voice these characters. And it's fun. It's just a fun movie. It's nothing that you have to really pay attention to. You can kind of watch it in the background. I was at the theater watching it with my son. He was into it the whole time. But it's just meant to be fun. And that's, kind of what you have in this movie. It's nothing you haven't seen before, but it's a good, fresh break from all the serious, like kind of macho live action superhero stuff that's going on now. Just a fun movie that you can watch with your kid.
Yeah, and going back to Keanu Reeves, so they killed his dog, John Wick. So he came back as Batman and has the dog now, voiced by Kevin Hart. Coming full circle here, but I like what they did with that. A lot of voice actors, actresses showing up along the way. A lot of people you'll recognize right away. But yeah, cool, fresh take on the Justice League, and also with the animals being the focal point of the movie and trying to save the day. Working together, as you can imagine, against a villain. It all really worked. Just very refreshing to watch this. And take a break from everything, like you were saying. So I thought this was done right. The animation was beautiful. I love the score in this movie. It was really great. A lot of great music. All around just a fun film, and really no major complaints here. And I thought, a movie I'd probably rewatch for sure with Bodie Man. So with that being said, I'm going to give DC League of Super Pets a 3.5 out of 5 Kevin Hart hair pieces.
I'm going to agree with you. I had a great time with this movie, taking my son to watch it. A nice, relaxing matinee with a fun movie, a very funny movie. There's a lot of jokes in here. Not all of them hit, but, it's always, lighthearted and, something you can laugh along, with your child if you take them to this movie. Both of us did, just a fun movie. I had a great time with it, seeing all the superheroes. They're able to do things that they're not able to do in live action. You can believe that they do all this impossible stuff when it's a animated movie. Like you mentioned, the animation's done really well. Score was great. It gave some life to the DC universe. Let's hope they can rewrite the wrongs that they've done over there and get back on the right track with all these great characters. There's so many possibilities in the future. Let's hope they get it right. But they got the animated side right with DC League of Super Pets. And I'm going to give DC League of Super Pets a 3.5 out of 5 Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson hair pieces.
So we're interested from hearing from all you wild dogs out there. What did you guys think of the new Super Pets movie? What did you like about it? What didn't you like about it? What the hell's happening to the DC universe? Let us know in the comments below, and don't forget to click subscribe. Also, check out these wild boys on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram, and our website, cinefellas.com, for the latest, greatest TV movie news and reviews.
That's right, Big Logan. We got a lot of big things coming our way this summer. As we have all summer, it's been a wild summer. Lots of blockbusters coming out at the theaters. Theaters are opening up again after a couple of years of COVID. Felt good to get back to the movies. August, we take a little break. There's more things that are going to be on TV and streaming, but stay tuned. We're going to be back to review all of those exciting new shows and movies that are premiering. We're going to be back this weekend for Prey. So we can't wait to, review some of these new shows and movies coming out. There's a lot to come. And our favorite season is just around the corner.
Thanksgiving?
Yeah, that's it. We love Thanksgiving movies. No, I was talking about the 31 Days of Horror, my friend. You know what I'm talking about. I can't wait to get back to that. Review some horror movies. We got some new ones coming out in the month of October. It's always an exciting time for these two wild kids. We always revert to childhood around this time of year.
Yeah, we do. It's like kid in the candy store. It's like Christmas morning, but for 31 days in October. Our favorite time of the year. So we got a lot of movies, new and old films and TV shows we're going to be talking about in the month of October. So looking forward to start shooting those videos with you, mate, and getting those posted up on every day during October of 2022. Woo!
Thank you guys for tuning in and watching our review of DC League of Super Pets. These two wild buffoons just reviewed this animated movie that we watched with our kids. Tried to explain it the best we can. It's hard to do animation. You're half in it, you're half watching it with your kid. You're not fully paying attention. But this one was actually fun. It's one that I'd like to revisit too. love Keanu Reeves as Batman. Would actually like to see him do some live action stuff. I bet that would be really cool. Or maybe do, like a Batman animated movie kind of, but more mature, let's say, with Keanu Reeves. That'd be cool. Maybe keep the live action with Pattinson now. Do some more animated stuff. DC did a really good job with this, so I'd like to see that from them. Thank you everybody for watching our review tonight. It's been a blast. We're going to go review something right after this, so stay tuned for the next Cinefellas movie review. I'm Henry Hill. That's my good mate,
Uncle Logan Myers.
signing out from Gotham City. Until the next time, cheers!
Cheers!
Y'all ready for this? Dun, 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 dun.